Hey guys, welcome to the sixth video in this React series, and let me just give you a demo of what we have so far. We just have this to-do area, and then we click this floating action button. This opens up a form. We give it a to-do, decide on a priority, give it a date, like 22nd. This is our due date basically, and then we can simply go ahead and add this. So right now we can also try deleting it, and that works, but we don't have any of the other functionality wired in basically. So edit doesn't work, and this done also doesn't work. So that is what I want to work on right now, and let's see how much we can get done in an hour. Basically it's 9:45. I'll code till 10:45 hopefully. So what I'm hoping to get done is that this clicking this edit opens up the same form, but the values of the to do that we clicked on edit for is pre-filled, and we can edit those. And the other thing that I want to really do in this video is basically have this filter sort of that if I have multiple to-dos and I only want to see to-dos of one priority, I can just click on the chip and it shows me just to-dos for those. So that sort of filtering I want to have if I can do it under an hour, otherwise it gets pushed to the next video. So let's get started with edit thing. So first of all, let's think about it. If we're using the same form, we'll need to conditionally render or pre-fill the text, and for that we need to know if we're uh, you know having an editing a to-do or just opening it up for adding a new to-do. So what I think is, for that we'll just have another state variable const is edit mode and set is edit mode. We can just say use state false. By default it doesn't use um, edit mode. By default it's just adding mode. After that the next thing that we need to see is uh, we'll just store the to do that we want to edit. Const edit to do set edit to do. So I guess that's all that we'll need for our state. Rest let's figure out how to do this. And if anybody is by chance unaware of what this use state exactly does, is it just creates a state variable for us. For the variable is edit mode, and then the thing is that you don't want to directly mutate state in React, so it also gives you this function which you can name anything. I named it set is edit mode, and you can use this to change the value of is edit mode. And by default this has a value of false, which you've passed in. Like a to-dos by default have a value of an empty array. Okay, so now we need to figure out. Okay, so we'll say const handle edit click, and it will take in a to do. It will say set is dialog open to false. I will say is set is edit mode to true, and then edit to do will be basically set also. We'll pass in the to do. So that is what we will need for handle edit click, and I'm not sure that's all that we need. We'll just figure out in a while once we get into it what we all actually need. Okay, so we will just pass in for now handle edit click. We'll pass it into our to do component. Handle edit click is equal to, we are basically passing this handler down as a prop, and on the edit button we'll have it as a non-click thing basically. So here's our edit button. Like you see on the icon button, we have this handle.delete. Similarly, on this one, we'll have an on-click handler, and this runs an arrow function inside it, within which we'll say handle props dot handle edit click, and we'll pass it in the whole to do, not just to.id. So let's see if this much works. When we hit edit to do, it should open up the modal. That's all that we are expecting for now. For that, we will first need to add a to do. Add it. Now, along with this, let's just open up the React console, React dev tools, so that we can see what state it has. Yeah. So we want to keep a track of app. Right now it has this to do and these two as false, this is empty, and formic. Okay, now let's see how do we do this. When we hit edit, what just happened? Okay, let me just see. Okay, of course we have to set this as true. I've been doing a whole lot of silly mistakes. That's bad. Okay, so now it should work. Just to do default values for the others. Yep. Now this opens up the modal. Now we just need to figure out how to pre-fill the values. And the values are controlled by formic. So let's see. So we have this use formic, and in the initial values we have to do text, priority low. Okay, so we'll use a use effect. I don't know if it's needed or not. I'm just trying to figure this out as I go. So we'll use a use effect hook, and we can get rid of this too. We had that before. Use effect. The first thing is a callback function. The next one is the dependency array, and the dependency array is edit mode. So if is meant edit mode, then formic dot if. Let's see how did we reset the form. Okay, we just reset it manually. So if is edit mode, if it's true, then we'll say that formic dot values dot, we'll just copy this and now we need to set this to edit to do dot val. Yeah, as you can see, we have val, priority, and due date. So edit to do dot priority. And if any of this is confusing to you, like what the hell are we doing over here, what's formic and stuff, just go back and watch my previous video. That's the video where we see how do we deal with forms using formic. And definitely a word of caution, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing over here, because I have actually like, this is me trying to learn React. This is not a tutorial or something, it's just my code sessions, and as I figure out stuff, I explain it to you guys. So I'm not sure if these are the most efficient ways of doing the stuff, but it definitely is one way. So it gave us an error because we forgot to import use effect. Okay, now let's try. First of all, do. Okay, now that we hit edit, yeah, this has the stuff pre-filled basically. As you saw, to do text had to do. Yeah, and for a better demonstration, let me just uh, choose a different value. Like for priority, I would choose high, and this would be uh, just any other date. Add, and when you hit edit, nope, those things are not filled in properly. I see. Okay, I know what the problem is. We need to properly handle uh, this stuff. So first of all, when we are hitting cancel, we're uh, we're saying handle dialog close, and on handle dialog close, we'll also set is edit mode to false. So if, because every time we close the dialog, we anyway want it to go away, so even if it was false, just stay false, so it doesn't matter to us. Let's see, this should improve the stuff a bit. Do med 21. Okay, now edit mode is switched off, so this will have by default the right values, like the default values. Then this has these values pre-filled, and if we say cancel, again it is reset to the previous values. So what is happening is, use effect is basically a hook that runs all this code every time a value in its dependency array changes. So every time we change the value of is edit mode, this piece of code gets run. So to basically just have a minor optimization on that, we'll make it so that is edit mode. So if it's false, if it's false, we make it true. If it's not, okay, wait. So if it's true, then we need to make it false. So if is edit mode will set is edit mode to false. I don't know if this will make any difference at all, but I just want to make sure that there are no premature, like, it's basically, I think it's a premature optimization. I am not sure even if it's an optimization or not. It's just what my logic says, that don't use set state these hooks basically sparingly, because when you have a use effect hook, it's going to run. Yeah, basically that. So this opens up these values. Now what we need to do, we will pass this into the form dialog component as well. We'll say is edit mode. We'll pass in is edit mode, because obviously if it's edit mode, we need it to say update instead of add, and over here as well we want it to say update instead of add. Okay, so I guess just to make this stuff a little easier, I'll add one to do by default, so that we don't have to keep redoing this stuff. because every time we made a change at refresh, we had to add a to do again to test out stuff. So I'll just add one so that we can go along a little easier. Okay, what was the format? I forgot. What was the date format? Oh god, I think 2020 0690. Yeah, that should do the trick. Now we'll have a to do by default over here. Yeah, so now you see we have a to do by default. We can play around. So we have told form dialog component that is edit mode is on. It's already been 15 minutes and this is all that we have got done. Anyway, what I'll do over here is just add a ternary expression props dot. I think we are going to refer to is edit mode a lot, so no, it's fine. I was gonna extract it. So if it's true, we'll just say update, otherwise we'll say add. Yeah, so this is basically just a curly brace, so we can put JS into it. It's a ternary expression that if props dot is edit mode is equal to true, then it will say update instead of it will say add. So we'll just see just in a second if it worked. So if I hit edit, yeah, now it says update, and I think we should just add a space. Yep, it says update, otherwise it would say add, and we need to do the same for this button. Props dot is edit mode, we'll say update, otherwise add. Cool. So this was the stuff. Now I don't think we need to make any changes inside form dialog component. Now the things that we need to do are inside handle submit. So let's see what we're doing over here. Let's break it down. So first of all, we're extracting these formic values from the form, and then we're setting these to dos. Then we're closing the dialog box, basically this. So what we need to do is, if is edit mode is on, we'll find that to do and edit that to do. Otherwise we'll just add the to do. So if not is edit mode, just do the stuff that you were doing before, add the to do. Yeah, else this is where our code to edit the to do will go. So now we have this to do, edit to do, right? So we have an edit to do. So we can say const new to dos is equal to spread of previous to dos. Cool. And then in const t is new to dos dot find t dot id is not equal to, okay, wait, just give me a second. So we need to find the to do where the t dot id is equal to edit to do dot id. Yeah, and then we can say t dot val is equal to todo text t dot priority is equal to priority t dot due date is equal to due date, and all these values, todo text, priority and due date, we have got out of the form dot values. Okay, so once you have done this, we can set is edit mode to false and set is edit to do to just an empty object, and we can set is edit mode to false, and before that after that or before that, I don't think it matters, we can set to dos as the new to dos. I don't know if this will work. I'm hopeful at least. Okay, it says set is at, yeah, it's capital S, it should have been small s. Come on, reload. Yep, so now we say edit to do 5 update. Yeah, this updated. Let's try changing its other values like medium to low to 22. Yeah, that's basically it. Yep, that stuff also changed. Now we have low over here and we have this over here. We can try adding another to do priority high. Yeah, this works flawlessly. No, there's this little issue. Once we close this, first of all, when you're closing, when I hit cancel, look closely. Update gets changed to add. So yeah, and then when I hit new, yeah, so the text is cleared. That's fine. And I hit update. This is updated. Now, just the little issue that I noticed a second ago, when we are handling close, handle dialog close, we're setting is edit mode to false. So this is a very minor issue, but it matters to me. So before it gets closed, it gets changed to add. So that is because I am just setting these states consequently, and what happens is all these state changes are batched until the function ends, and they're executed in a batch. So you can't ensure, or even if you can ensure that they're happening in the same order, uh, yeah, basically you can't ensure if they're happening in the same order, because if they happened in the same order, the dialog would have closed first, and then set is edit mode would have been to false. So that flash we shouldn't have seen. So otherwise, what we can do is we can use another use effect, because now I understand that this is what use effect is for. We can see use effect is dialog open. If this changes, we can say if the dialog is open, so if it's for if we have just set it to false, and if the dialog is closed, we want to say set edit mode to false. That should solve our issues basically. Sorry if I haven't been able to explain this as well. I'll do that again in a second. So Now if I hit cancel, okay, that flash is still there and I have no idea why. Oh god. I thought this would have worked. Anyway, I think this is a better way of doing this. It's closed and then okay, cool. But I think we'll have to deal with this flash for a second because otherwise I would have wired it up so that in an other way, but how the app is structured right now, I don't think we can deal with this. So yeah, I think that's about it for the uh, edit basically. Now it should just take us a minute or so to implement this to do as done when we click on it. So we'll have another no, we don't need a state, or do we? uh, yeah, no, we don't need a state, we need just a handler. So we'll say const handle mark done. So mark the to do as done. We'll give it a to do. Yeah, and for the to do, what we'll do is the same old drill. Const new to do's is equal to the spread of the previous one. Then const t is equal to new to do's dot find t. We need to find this to do. T dot id is equal to do dot id, and then t dot done is basically set to true. Okay, so we just set it to be the opposite, because what we'll have to do is, if the to do is done, if the to do is done, we'll show a cross mark instead of the check. Didn't think of that before. So if the to do will be done, we'll set it to not done. If it will be not done, we'll set it to done. And then we just need to say set to do's is new to do's. Cool stuff. And then we'll pass this in to the todolist component. Basically say handle mark done, handle mark done. And over here in the done icon, we can say on click run an arrow function. Inside that, just handle mark done and pass it in the to do. And then if the task is done, I'm going to have a style over here which basically has a strike through. So style text decoration I'm not sure if this logic will work for inline styles. To do dot done, it will say strike through, otherwise we will say none, and I'm sure we're gonna get an error. Handle mark done. Okay, not the error I expected. You just need to say props dot handle mark done. Let's see if this works or not. that basically did not strike through, but I'm sure it's changing the state. So we'll check that. React DevTools component. So right over here in the hooks we see we have a state, and done is set to false for now. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but no matter how much I zoom in, the React DevTools are not zooming in. Yeah, so right now this has done is equal done is false. When I hit click, done is true. Okay, but how can we use that to what kind of style do we need to show that it's done? Let's see. We'll pass this in just an object, and we'll make that object over here. And we'll pass it in the value of todo.done. Okay, we can do that right over there too. We'll let this be, we'll remove this, and right over here this is a style, right? Okay, so we'll say text decoration to get text decor todo.done, and we'll just have a function over here, const get text decor done, return if done is equal to true, strike through, otherwise none. Let's see how this works out for us. No, still doesn't work. Let's inspect this element. Oh God, I don't know how to do this. Okay, so it's right here, text decoration is none. If we set it to strike through, strike through. Okay, it's not strike through, it's line through. I was making this dumb mistake. Okay, if I, yep, no, let's just try once more with line through. Cancel. Yep, if this is done this has a line through now. That works, yay. So let me just explain what we did right over here. We have this function const get text decor, and we are passing it in done, and if done is true, we are passing we're returning line through, otherwise none. And right over here we have text decoration, and we're saying the value for this get through this function, and we're passing it to do.done, so it's giving us the appropriate value. I'm not sure if ternary expression would have worked right in there. I know this is not a really nice way of signifying if it's done or not, but it's something at least. Okay, so now the last thing that I want to work on, because both this getting the to do as marking the to do as done and editing is done. So first of all, what I'm thinking is this is our old code, and if you want to go through how we did this before Material UI and before Formic, check out the videos first to third in this series, and this is the code from that audio series that we are removing. Yeah. So now there's this really neat little feature that I want to implement. I'm not sure how do we do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but yeah, it's going to be implemented for sure. I want to make sure that if we have multiple to-dos, let's make sure that we have multiple to-dos. We also need to pass in done. So I'm just setting up some sample data for now, so that it's easier for us to do some stuff. id2 val2 priority high, due date doesn't matter, id3 2 3 met, due date doesn't matter, 4 2 4, let's set it to low. Okay, 2 to 5 high, 2 to 6 low. Let's see if we have that sample data showing up. Yeah, so now we have 6 to-dos, and I want to make sure if we click on one of the chips, it gives us the right thing, basically, like only the to-dos that have that. Okay, so now for this I'm going to have to do some thinking. First of all, we'll have to say const handle chip click priority click, because this high, med, low is basically signifying the priority of the task, and we'll say we'll make another state variable const priority filter set priority filter, and we'll say use state empty string. Cool. Yep, cool. Okay, so now if we say handle priority click, we'll say set priority filter to priority, which we'll pass in from the to do, and we need to pass this into to do list. Now let's open up to-do list component. Yep. So right over here, we have this chip, and we want to say on click, run this arrow function, and inside this arrow function, props dot handle priority click, and it's going to be to do dot priority. Okay, now let's get back to here, and below a header right here we'll have basically ternary expression, which will say priority filter is equal to just an empty string, then say null. Otherwise, let's try just outputting the priority filter for now. Okay, so it's showing this little med over here. Alright, so now as you see, these are also clickable because we added an on click handler, so it automatically made the necessary changes like changing its cursor to pointer and stuff and other stuff. Okay, so now we have this med showing up. Now what I want to have for this is basically a dismissible chip. Yeah, so this is a chip, and we want to say clickable, deletable. Yep. No, not clickable, deletable, just deletable. So you want the fourth one. So basically, which one was it? Deletable. Yeah, this one. So I'll copy this over. We'll also need to import chip from. So we want it to be a chip we'll give it the label of priority filter. Okay, and we'll say on delete handle priority filter delete, and we'll just have to define that handle priority filter delete. We'll set priority filter to just an empty string again. So let's see if that gives us a clickable chip or not. So these we can click on, yep, and then this is deletable. I don't know if this app is being sluggish because I am not using the right logic, or if this is being sluggish uh, because I am recording as I'm coding and my laptop dies when I do that. Okay, so we'll just give it a color. Doesn't look good this way. We'll say color is equal to secondary. So now that we click this, it shows up right there. And the todolist component has some padding on the top. Padding 0 margin top. It has margin 1.2 rem on the top. So that is what I'll give this chip as well, so that it has that much distance from the top and it looks a bit uniform. Yeah. Okay, this is pretty nice. Now we just got to make sure to filter out the content if the priority filter is on. So we are passing it to-dos, but what we'll say is if priority filter is equal to this, then pass to-dos, or otherwise filtered to-dos. Cool. And we'll have filtered to-dos as const filtered to-dos. We also need to have a setter for it. I made a small error, mistake. Set filtered to-dos, and we'll just say use state. By default, this is an empty array. Now we need to use another use effect hook, because whenever priority filter is changed, this should run use effect and I always like setting dependency array right ahead, because in case I don't forget adding it afterwards, it'll cause a whole lot of errors, and this error is, nasty to catch. So you want to say filtered set filtered to-dos as we'll get the current to-dos and filter t dot priority is equal to priority filter, and this is if Okay, so this should work in all cases. If it's an empty string, then this will be empty, and even if it's an empty string, we'll be passing in the todos and not the priority filter todos. So yeah, this should work in any case. So now I hope this works. When I hit medium, only the to do 3 and to do should be displayed. Oh yeah, it happened. And when I click cross, they're back. When I click high, only the high ones are shown. Cross, they're back. I hit low, low ones are shown. Cross, they're back. I know this is not very ideal because uh, there's no animation and there's a lot of jumping back and forth. So this is a little not smooth, but it works functionality wise, and everything works. And we can just say go away filter and it will go away, and we'll just see rest of them, and it'll come back. We can say go away, it goes away. So yeah, it's not production level, it's not even the most efficient way, but it works, and I'm happy I figured out this logic. And for you guys, let me just go ahead and once again explain it. Right over here, we have another array of to-dos called filter to-dos, and we have this priority filter. So whenever one of this chip is clicked, we set the priority filter to this value, low, mid or high. And we have this use effect hook where we say if priority filter changes, set filter to do to be to do's dot filter t dot priority is equal to priority filter. So when just keep the to do's whose priority is equal to priority filters, and set the filter to do's array as those. And right over here in a to do list component where we are passing in the to do's, if the priority filter is just an empty string, basically no filter, we pass in the whole to-dos, otherwise we pass in the filtered to-dos. So yeah, that's it. That's pretty straightforward. Well, it feels nice to figure out that logic at least. Pretty nice. So I guess that's about it for this video, and I've got a couple really exciting things planned out for the next videos. One is basically getting animations to work, so that if we hit and add a new to do and add it isn't just added, it's animated in. And then like when we click delete, yep, so like when we're clicking delete, it should not just go away like that, it should be animated out. And I'll now just remove this dummy data for the to-dos. Yeah, so the two things that I've planned is one, animations, and the second one is drag and drop, so that we can drag and drop around to-dos to figure out that the order of the to-dos. We can edit that by dragging and dropping around. So that's about it for this video, and definitely subscribe for more such videos coming out, because they're definitely going to come out soon as possible. And yeah, if you like the video, just let me know in the comments. If there was something that I could improve on, let me know in the comments. So yeah, see ya guys.